Hello everyone, my name is Zatolokina. I'm an undergraduate student majoring in psychology, studies at Воронежский University. I'm going to tell you about social psychological factors of mate selection. My purpose is to inform you about what social and psychological factors influence on mate selection of young people. I've divided my presentation into two parts. First of all, I talk about the actuality of this topic, about the concept of marriage and its significance. Then I will tell you about the criteria of mate choice. I shall only take 7 minutes of your time, so let's start. Firstly, I'd like to say about the actuality of the problem. The role of the family is recognized as a priority in society, which is one of the leading values, especially for young people. With the development of society, the view of marital relations of spouses in the family is changing. A study by the Pew Research Center emphasized the decline in marriage for young adults, with 20% of 18 to 29-year-olds married in 2010, compared with 59% in 1960. Problems in mate selection can be avoided by identifying mutual ideas about marriage and family, which will help avoid the misunderstandings and disagreements in marriage. Let's move on to the concept of marriage. Marriage functions as a reproductive social arrangement that traditionally involves the extended family. The purpose of marriages can be varied, but one could say that the purpose of marriage today is simply to make a commitment to the person you love. As society has become more liberal and gender roles have diversified, the meaning of marriage has also changed. Women are no longer identified by their role of reproducing children. Both men and women enjoy successful careers. Sexuality is not defined singularly by heterosexuality, and sex before marriage is also no longer the taboo it once was. But today, 75% of singles still want to get married, not for the social pressure, but because of their own personal desire and belief in marriage. Let's go on to the second part in my presentation. Some mate selection criteria are the same for males and females. Both sexes seek a healthy, reproductively competent, kind mate who is emotionally bonded to them. Full sex differentiation is a sign of reproductive maturity and competence. Accordingly, both sexes prefer mates who are somewhat more sexually differentiated than average. Both sexes seek signs of genetic quality, that is, physical attractiveness. However, some mate choice criteria differ systematically between the sexes. Ultimately, this is because the sexes contribute somewhat differently to their common offspring. Men seek a young bride who will have all of her reproductive years ahead of her. Women in traditional societies usually marry about the time fertility begins. Their reproductive value is higher then, and so, presumably, is their mate value. Women, on the other hand, seek a man who is a few years older than they. That brings us to the next issue. Why should women prefer an older husband? This preference is actually stronger than men's preference for a younger wife. The usual explanation is that the older men are wealthier, and women seek the economic resources of a wealthy man. A more comprehensive explanation may be that age is a sign of social dominance, and women, like females of many other species, seek dominant males. It's necessary to point that beyond differences in what they initially prioritize, men and women tend to ideally prefer the same kind of long-term partner, a well-rounded individual who is attractive, smart, industrious, funny, creative, and kind. In conclusion, I would like to say that marriage is the basis of fundamental social relations. Mate choice continues after the marriage begins. Divorce or abandonment is always theoretically possible, but when considering the criteria for choosing a partner before marriage, you can avoid those misunderstandings and disagreements that can lead to divorce. Before I finish my presentation, I would like to give you the references if they may be helpful. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for your attention. Goodbye.